Right then, nobody else came forward to do a Wilt, so I've decided, as I'm banished down to the shack, then I may as well do one myself. And it will include a high-low that starts later on, so those people that want to have a laugh at me attempting to play high-low, you get your wish. That's you, Bill the Bandit. So we've started the deep stack, which is this one here. Just wait while I'm in a hand, we'll be calling that anyway. We started the deep stack here, 500 guaranteed. We'll be playing 700 guaranteed rebuy, which is second game. Third game I play most nights is this 500 guaranteed, so that's 3. The mosh pit, which is 4. The 800 guaranteed, which is 5. We'll have a stab at this one. Where was I? Was that 5? 800 guaranteed, yeah, that's 5. 1400 guaranteed is 6. 1500 guaranteed, if it runs, is 7. But quite often that one won't run, so that's 7. And then we move on to the 820 silly high-low game for people who don't really know what they're doing. So we'll be doing those games tonight, and hopefully we'll have some fun. Let's go. We'll raise with Queen 10. This is the rebuy, the one in the middle. It's obviously not in the middle at the moment, but it will be by the time all the tables start. I'm on my computer now, so it's a little bit different to how I have it on the laptop. On the laptop they're all overlapping, but with these being on the computer you'll be able to see things a bit better. I've obviously got no notes on any of these players. This one here, we're actually in first place already. I was going to say I'll give £100 to charity if I don't hit first place in at least one of my games. So the charity is dipped out because I've already hit number 1 in this one. And that happened because I flopped the absolute nuts and somebody just decided to go crazy and I guess pretend he had the nuts, but I think it was the first hand I played actually. Well, we've since moved table and for some reason I can't do the hand history to show you, which seems a bit daft. Anyway, there you go, we're in first place. And we've been running 18 minutes, so hopefully we stay there. The system sounds are off because over on my other screen I am watching The Big Bang Theory because I want to know what it's all about. Because over Christmas people kept saying about Sheldon Cooper and I felt a bit left out, so I'm going to catch up, find out what The Big Bang Theory is all about. So hopefully you won't get any of the sounds from my computer and I can enjoy playing in peace and watch The Big Bang Theory. So I'll be back in a minute when anything interesting takes place. Right, we got ace 10, obviously we're going to c-bet. I tend to just hit the half thingy bob rather than try to work anything out, half pot. Mainly because it's bloody easy to do. I don't think there are any draws on that flop that he hasn't hit. So I think we may as well keep the pot small, and if he does decide to bluff, then I think we're probably comfortably losing there with ace 10. If he had 5-6 he's hit. More than likely he had 7-8 and thought we'd take a stab, so I think that bet suggests he wants my money. Well, he's not having it. I think he was calling the turn no matter what, so we just kept the pot small and didn't give any money away for now. Well, we're back recording again, and that's a bit unfortunate because we missed the hand that also took us up to first place in this game, and that was where we flopped. Where are we? We flopped 3 6s, and this guy thought it would be a good idea to get it all in with his top pair with 5 kicker. This guy got it all in with top pair and jack kicker, and I sat there with my 3 6s and took the lot. So we've got 10,500 there. and we're up into first place. A bit lucky. My phone's going off left, right and centre. 7 jack of diamonds on the button is an obvious raise. We've got 2 diamonds, we're expected to continue, so we will, and we got it through. Right, we've got an early position raise in the deep stack, which kind of suggests he has got a nice hand if he's raising from under the gun, so we will definitely put in a re-raise here, and we hope he's got, oh well, that's even more interesting that somebody else has done the re-raising for us. If we were to re-raise now, of course, that does give the game away a bit, although if you're re-raising somebody who's under the gun and raised, with a bit of luck he's got ace king and decides to have a brain fart and lob it all in. I think Fanny Gretto will now let it go, and Johnson hopefully will get it all in with ace king. We don't really want to see a pair of queens. Well, we don't really care what we see if he bungs it all in, but ace king would be absolutely perfect. Well, that didn't quite work out. Maybe I re-raised a little bit too much. Very difficult there. If under the gun raises and under the gun +1 re-raises, you're kind of trapping yourself if you just flat call, because the other one would flat call and then you're against 2 people, which you don't really want. So I think we are better off just taking it down right there and then. There's definitely a raising hand under the gun. I don't think we need to get jiggy here. If we were to bet now and he happens to have even just a 5, he might re-raise us, and we've missed the opportunity to hit our 6. We know it's going to come a club as well, because it always does. And so let him bet and win it. Well, if he doesn't bet now, we will definitely be betting, because we've pretty much shown that we've got nothing until the king hit. It's the only way we're going to win the pot, obviously. Grandad Dave doesn't believe me. Oh, he did believe me in the end. Right, back to my text. I don't think we should be letting people just sneak in that cheaply, and that's what Otti is thinking as well. So we'll see what resistance we get here. Nice and big, pretend we're fending off the club draw, pick up more chips. 5-7 under the gun is an obvious raise. Ace king of diamonds on the button is an obvious raise. This guy hates limpers, quite clear. Ot1986 hates limpers, and every time they've limped in he's raised, and at the moment I keep re-raising, so he might get fed up with it. He might actually have a better hand than me, I don't really care. King high flop, we'll do exactly the same as last time. A nice big bet. That's not a good card. I think the best thing to do here is just push all in. If he's got 2 spades, he's got 2 spades. He hasn't. He's got absolutely nothing. Does make you think well, it makes you think, what the hell are they doing half the time? If you go back on the flop, or even before the flop, he's out of position with ace jack. Okay, it's a rebuy, but the board has come down 5 king 4, and he's got ace jack and still calling me. What's he calling with? Just no rhyme nor reason. And then of course he's hit the flush draw, I might have already had the ace of spades, might already have had the flush. But he's calling to hit a jack high flush draw. That's all. Nothing else could help him. And for once it didn't hit. You'd have heard a few choice words if he did. So we should be back in first place, and we are. Not that it matters a toss at this point.
Go into the past and give it to myself, thus eliminating the need for me to invent it in the first place. Interesting. Yeah, it really takes the pressure off.
That's the point. I'm just wondering now whether you're going to pick up the Big Bang Theory through the microphone. So I'll just test that now, after this hand. Right, looks like you're going to have to put up with a little bit of the Big Bang Theory in the background. I've turned it down a little bit, but you might still pick up on it. It's quite funny, actually, on occasion. Ace Queen in the big blind, under the gun raise. We're going to look extremely strong by re-raising this, and we're not going to be in any serious trouble. He's just flat called, which is a bit strange. He didn't even think about it, just a simple flat call. I think we've got to continue the story and hope he had something like a pair of tens. Looks that way. And that's the beauty of re-raising rather than just flat calling with ace queen. You've taken control and they've got absolutely no idea if you've got a complete monster or not. And you know if they've got a complete monster because they're likely to be re-raising you. We've hit the 6, but obviously we're not going to do anything about it. And it's a simple fold. And the other 6 obviously has to come and hit. This guy, I'm assuming, was calling with Jack Queen. No, a pair of 2s. Very well played. Called all the way with a pair of 2s. Just lost for words. It's a freeze out as well. Completely lost for words.
Sure I am. No, let me do the math for you. This car weighs, let's say, 4,000 pounds. Now add 140 for me, 120 for you. 120? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I insult you? Is your body mass somehow tied into your self-worth? Well, yeah. Interesting. Anyway, that gives a total weight of, let's say,
this guy's re-raised us. Ordinarily, in a rebuy, I'd take a stab at that. But we have actually only got 940 to win from him, so I don't think it's worth it. If he had more chips, then maybe. This is almost a short stack freeze out over here on the right hand side. You only get 3,000 chips. So it feels a bit like a short stack with all these other chips going on. So we have to be a bit careful with our chips over here.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you, ordinary person. Hey, you want to hear an interesting thing about tomatoes?
No, not really. Listen, didn't
5, 6 of clubs over here is an obvious call.
Yes, but
It's one of those hands you're either going to smack the flop hard or get out of it. And that's given us a double belly buster. Hang on, let me just raise over here. This looks like we've missed it, but it's as good as an open-ender straight, and it's actually more disguised. The only problem being that if you hit the top end, you could lose to a higher straight, but we won't be going anywhere too soon with this. And that's going to scare him anyway, so he'll slow down there and we'll get a free shot on the river. Here we've got 2 overcards and the nut flush draw, so we're obviously going to get it all in if we have to. Here the guy's only got 3,000 left, so if I were to call this there'd be about 2,000 in the middle. And if we miss, then we've got to call it off on what's probably going to be a draw. So I think it's worth going for it now, just in case he was trying it on, and if he wasn't trying it on, then we've got plenty of outs anyway. And we hit. So that's how to accumulate chips. Just get spunky. Oh, final table already. That will soon change. I have a feeling this will change.
I marked the calendar for future reference.
We've only actually got 9 players in this, so it looks like a final table, but I think I've never seen it before. But it could be a final table that develops into not a final table. Very strange. We got lucky with the ace queen of diamonds, but I don't think we did an awful lot wrong. Okay, so he hit his set, but we're not going anywhere with ace queen of diamonds on a board like that. On a board like this. But again, what I was saying about getting it in right there and then, well, by getting it in then, we haven't got the sort of, well, not humiliation, but it would have been pretty stupid then to call off the whole stack, which we would have done, call off the whole stack on the turn with nothing, just to hit a diamond, and that's pretty poor play. So if we're going to do it, we had to do it right there and then. Here again we've got the double belly buster, so we're definitely going for that. This guy we've already seen is dreadful. This XXX with lots of dots is absolutely awful. And we hit that one anyway. But now we've got 2 pair that I think there's every chance we could get all of his chips. We have to raise because we hope he's got ace king or something. I actually think he's probably got ace jack or something like that. And he's let it go, but he did give us a few chips along the way.